I always thought my sister Maya was my best friend. You know the type. The person you'd call at 3 a.m. if you ever needed to hide a body. That was us. Or so I thought. Last Tuesday, I went over to her place to drop off a spare key she'd lost. I let myself in with my own copy, figuring she was in the shower or out back. But as I walked toward the kitchen, I heard voices. Low, hushed, and frantic. I paused just outside the door when I heard my name. Then my sister said the words that stopped my heart. "She can never know, Mom. If Sarah finds out it was actually me that night, she'll never forgive us. She spent 10 years thinking it was her fault." I froze. My hand was literally inches from the door handle, but I felt like my feet were cemented to the floor. My breath hitched in my throat. What was she talking about? 10 years? My mind raced back to a decade ago, the night of the accident. I was 18, driving us home from a party. A deer jumped out. I swerved and we hit a tree. Maya was fine, but our younger brother Leo was in the hospital for months. I'd lived with the soul-crushing guilt of that night for a decade. I'd gone to therapy, I'd struggled with driving anxiety, and I'd constantly apologized to my family for being the irresponsible one. I heard my mom sigh, a sound of pure exhaustion. "Maya, it's been too long," Mom said. "The guilt is eating me alive every time I see her look at Leo's leg brace. We should have told the truth when the police asked who was behind the wheel." My heart dropped into my stomach, my vision blurred. Behind the wheel? I was the driver. I remember. Wait, did I? I remember the party. I remember being tired, but I'd had 2 drinks, and Maya had insisted she was sober. My memory of the actual impact was always a foggy blur of headlights and screaming. "Mom, shut up," Maya hissed. "If the insurance company finds out I was the one driving without a license back then, they'll sue us for every penny of the settlement. And Sarah has built her whole identity around making it up to us. She's the one who pays for Leo's physical therapy. She's the one who bought you that car. If she finds out we swapped seats while she was unconscious before the paramedics arrived, we lose everything." I felt like the floor had opened up beneath me. They swapped seats? I wasn't even driving. I had spent my entire adult life believing I had nearly killed my brother. I had sacrificed my college fund to help pay for his surgeries. I had worked 3 jobs while Maya went to law school on a merit scholarship that I now realized was probably funded by the very settlement money she just mentioned. "But she's your sister," Mom whispered. "She struggled so much." "And she's doing fine now," Maya snapped. "She's strong. She can handle it. What she can't handle is the truth, so we keep our mouths shut. We take this to the grave. She can never know." I couldn't stay silent anymore.
My blood was boiling, a heat I'd never felt before radiating from my chest to my fingertips. I didn't knock. I didn't wait. I pushed the door open so hard it slammed against the wall. The sound was like a gunshot in the small kitchen. They both jumped. Maya dropped her teacup and it shattered across the tile, shards of porcelain flying everywhere. My mom's face went white, whiter than I've ever seen a living person look. For a solid 10 seconds, nobody said a word. The silence was deafening, punctuated only by the rhythmic dripping of tea off the counter. "Sarah," Maya finally gasped, her voice trembling, "how long have you been standing there?" "Long enough to know that my life was a lie," I said. My voice was eerily calm, the kind of calm that happens right before a storm hits. "Long enough to know that you let me carry the weight of your mistake for 10 years while you watched me drown in guilt." Mom reached out for me. "Honey, please let us explain." "Explain what?" I barked, the volume of my voice finally rising. "Explain how you watched me cry myself to sleep for years? Explain how you let me pay for Leo's care while you lived it up? You manipulated my memory. You took advantage of my trauma." Maya tried to step toward me, her eyes filling with fake tears. "We did it to protect the family, Sarah. If I had gone to juvie, I wouldn't be a lawyer today. I wouldn't be able to help anyone." "You didn't do it to protect the family," I spat. "You did it to protect yourself. And Mom, you let her." "I'm done." I turned around and walked out. I didn't take the key. I didn't look back. I could hear them calling my name, but their voices sounded like they were underwater. As I got into my car, the car I bought with money I earned while carrying a guilt that wasn't mine, I realized my life was starting over today. But first, I had to call Leo. He deserved to know who really caused that night. And I was finally going to drive away from this family. And for the first time in 10 years, I wasn't going